Welcome everyone. English for the real world. Do subscribe and share. The past, present perfect, and present perfect continuous tenses. You've already taken a closer look at each of these tenses separately, and you saw all three of these tenses used in the dialogue. Have you been here before? I cut myself with a sharp knife the other day. Have you been taking any medications? Let's take a moment now to sort these tenses out and review exactly how to use them one last time. The simple past tense, or just the past tense, is the tense you choose when you want to talk about an action that happened in the past. Some verbs are regular: walked, talked, emailed, commuted, but many very common ones are irregular: ate, went, slept, spoke. You'll use this tense when you're telling a story about things that happened in the past, when you're talking about history, or when you mention a specific time or date when something happened. Let's see some examples. I went to the store and bought groceries last night. Mary left the office at 5:45 today. They talked for hours on the telephone. We took a wonderful trip last summer. The Normans invaded England in 1066. Kublai Khan became ruler of the Mongol Empire in 1287. John F. Kennedy was assassinated in 1963. The present perfect tense, like the past tense, is used to talk about an action that happened in the past, but there are two important differences between the two tenses. The first important difference is that the simple past tense is used if the time frame is finished: last year, last week, yesterday. But the present perfect tense is used if the time frame is not finished: this year, this week, today. The second important difference is that the present perfect tense suggests something more about the present or future because of what has happened in the past. To understand this, take a look at these examples in both the simple past and the present perfect. I went to work 5 days last week. And of course, the last week is finished. I have gone to work 3 days this week. That means so far this week is not finished. I've gone to work 3 days this week. And it means that I'll most likely go 2 more times. Amrita was in China in 2002. So, 2002 is over now. So it's just a historical fact. I've never been to China. That means the time frame is my life. which is still unfinished. I've never been to China, but I wouldn't really like to go there someday. Or maybe you could even say, I would really like to go there someday. Did you see Richard in the conference room? You're not in the conference room anymore, so that time frame is finished. Have you seen Richard? Maybe yet, or this morning, or today is understood. It's an unfinished time frame. Have you seen Richard? That means there's something that I want to tell him. So there are certain words that will often be used with the present perfect tense instead of the past tense if you're talking about a past action. Take a look at these examples with yet, still, already, ever, never, before, and always. Have you finished the report yet? She still hasn't told me whether she wants to come with us. They've already called 3 times today. Have you ever heard of such nonsense? We have never been here. Have you been to this restaurant before? I've always wanted to learn to speak Chinese. The present perfect continuous tense, as you know, is used to talk about an action that began in the past but continues up to the present. It may or may not continue on through the future. Remember that since and for are often used with time phrases in this tense. The director has been waiting for your phone call since 9:30 this morning. We've been sitting on the plane for 7 hours already. I've been working here for 6 years. Have they been standing there and listening for a long time? They haven't been speaking to each other since they got here last night. Note that the present perfect can often be used in cases where the present perfect continuous is correct. I've worked for this company since 1996. I've been working for this company since 1996. We've waited for 3 hours and no one is here. Let's go. We've been waiting for 3 hours and no one is here. Let's go. They went home at 6 last night. She worked on the project since 7:30 this morning. They haven't seen the film yet, so they are eager to go to the movies. Were you speaking? I'm sorry, I was not listening. You want to stop again? We stopped 3 times already. You studied Greek for 4 years in college. You must speak well. They still haven't made up their minds. We moved to New York in 1991. The baby slept for 3 hours. They heard the news last night after dinner. And so on. Please do subscribe and share. Thank you so much.